I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like every 10 minutes or so over the last month or more that whenever I'm sitting down watching TV, there's a commercial that comes on that shows someone getting engaged. Either for the jewelry company that's trying to sell the engagement ring. I saw one. It was for some type of guarantee firm. But they showed the man on one knee asking his girlfriend to marry him. And I guess that's an effective marketing tool because it's used so often. And I think it's that way because it's one of the most poignant and most memorable moments in our human experience. Those of you who are married, I'm sure you remember proposing or receiving that proposal. And that question is asked, and then that brief moment in time occurs that may seem to the man whose question is interminable until his girlfriend says yes. Today, on this last Sunday of Advent, the church takes us to an infinitely more poignant moment. It is a proposal of sorts. But the person asking is not a suitor seeking a lady's hand in marriage. But it is an angel. And the question posed is not, will you marry me? But will you bring forth the Son of God into the world to save all humanity from their sins? This is an incomparable invitation that is given to Mary. I think one of the most important things for us to remember, we must remember, is just that. It is an invitation. Mary is totally free in her response. She can either accept this invitation or reject it. Whenever I read this gospel and I have to preach on it, I am struck by the gravity of that moment. We cannot begin to imagine what Mary feels, what she thinks, how her emotions must be near paralyzing in their enormity. The importance of this event cannot be overstated. The whole destiny of all of mankind rests upon her answer. And so we are called to see how that event that we recount is not just an historical event, but in a sense it draws us into an experience also. This Mass, every time we gather for Mass, it makes present for us all of Christ's actions. His one perfect sacrifice on the altar of his cross. And so we see in this invitation to Mary how God also invites all of us to allow him to become more really and powerfully present to us in this Holy Eucharist, so we might then bring him and his love to all. Mary, of course, is completely attentive to the voice of the angel. She is full of grace. She is pure and sinless, having been reserved from original sin and having never committed any personal sin. And so her eyes are always on God and on his will for her. But we, sadly, for the most part, are not like that. We suffer from the effects of original sin and allow our focus to be turned on self. And because of that, we miss many opportunities that God wishes to come to us. We don't look to what his plan is, but we succumb to the temptation to want to do what we want. I think it's what our first reading shows to us. It begins by King David reflecting upon where he is now in relation to that ark that he holds, an ark of the covenant that contains the Ten Commandments, contains the bread, the manna. And he's thinking about what he is supposed to do. Doesn't that sound a little bit like us in each of our daily lives? But that night the Lord speaks to Nathan the prophet. And in fact, he gives the message that King David is to turn his focus away on what he thinks he has to do, from the reality of what God has done for him. It was I who took you from the pasture. I have been with you wherever you went. I have destroyed all your enemies. I will make you famous. I will fix a place for my people Israel. I will make sure that your kingdom lasts forever. Can't we see then how this perspective keep our focus on what God has done and wants to continue to do for us, will change everything. Mary doesn't say to the angel, let me think about it for a while. Let me evaluate and weigh the costs and benefits that may be involved here. She says, may it be done to me according to your word. Our second reading, St. Paul is not trying to highlight his insights or thoughts, but he urges all to give glory to all that has been made known according to the command of the eternal God. Mary simply agreed to the plan of God that was proposed to her, and the event of God's coming to save all of humanity was made possible. We are called to do that too, so that he wants to accomplish in us may be effective. Instead of trying to intellectualize about what God wishes us to do, or to try to figure it all out, we are called to accept what each day presents to us. In our families, we're not to wish things were different, but to accept one another as each is a priceless child of God, trusting that God will sustain the other always. In our jobs, we're not to complain about the burdens and the tedium of work, but to accept those struggles that are ours and realize that our work unites us to Christ and his ongoing redemptive work. And in the sufferings that are ours, and in the death that awaits each of us, we're not to succumb to temptation, despair, or fear, but to allow the joy and the hope of the resurrection, this promise of new and eternal life for us in heaven, to sustain us always. Mary desired nothing other than what God desired for her. This is the secret to holiness and to happiness. Mary did not trust in what others might think about her. She trusted in God alone. Mary never sought anything for herself. That's why she now enjoys more in the eternal glory of heaven than we could ever imagine. And this last Sunday before Christmas, the church takes us to this most important moment in time, to this incomparable proposal, the great moment of the Annunciation. Let us see in that moment a symbol of what every moment of our lives are meant to be. God calling us and desiring to make himself present in us. Let us see in Mary a model for all of us, our sure guide to holiness and to happiness, not in focusing on ourselves, in what we think we want or what we need, but in keeping our focus on God and what he desires to share with us, so that in all the events of our lives, in all of what God will propose to us in each moment of our lives, we may always respond like Mary. May it be done unto me according to your word.